Good morning, students. With a short break after half-yearly exams, let's continue our studies. Today we will study 7th lesson from the book First Flight, that is Glimpses of India. This lesson is having 3 parts. First one is a baker from Goa, second one is cruise, and the third one is tea from Assam. So, in this part we will study the first one, that is a baker from Goa. Now, this lesson is actually a pen portrait of a baker, traditional Goan baker, who still has an important place in his society. Now children, we know that Goa was ruled by Portuguese for around 450 years. And in those 450 years, now Goa has been influenced in its culture, cuisines and architecture. Now this baking of breads and all that was also started by Portuguese. Now the people have left from this place, but the tradition is still continuing. So we will study in this chapter how fondly people still remember Portuguese people and their culture, cuisines, traditions. Okay, so let's start the lesson. Now, as the story given, that our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. So now, children, that these old people, now the elders, the writer's elders, he says that they still remember fondly all those Portuguese days and Portuguese people and their loaves of breads. Actually, people were at that time, they were fond of eating all these breads, baked breads, and they were all loved by all the people around. And they were all, that tradition, that cuisine was brought by Portuguese people. Okay, so people, even they have left the place, people still use these baked breads. Okay, they love those baked breads and how they do all that. Now next one it is given. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished. Now people have left this place. Now Portuguese people have disappeared. But the makers are still there. Now still there are people who are baking, those who are making these kind of breads. We still have among us the mixture, the molders and those who bake the loaves. Now as we know that in the baking process, these 3 are involved. Mixers are involved, those who mix to prepare the ingredients, molders who give the shape, and the third one who bake the breads, loaves. Those old days time-tested furnaces still exist. Now he says that even those herbs which were used by the Portuguese, they still exist. They are time-tested, they are used for a long time, but they are still working. And फर्नेसेस आर हर्ट्स, जिसको भट्टी बोलते हैं, जिसमें वो बेक करते हैं उसको केक को. एंड द फायर इन द फर्नेसेस हैज नॉट येट बीन एक्सटिंग्विश्ड, दैट द फायर इन द फर्नेसेस हैज नॉट बीन पुट ऑफ. उसको आग वो बुझी नहीं है अभी भी उसके अंदर वो फर्नेसेस में वो होता है. बेकिंग प्रोसेस इज स्टिल कंटिन्यूइंग. द थर्ड एंड जिंगल ऑफ, द थर्ड एंड जिंगल ऑफ द ट्रेडिशनल बेकर्स बैम्बू heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Now, still in Goa, in many places in Goa or in nearby villages, it can be now the announcement sound of the coming of a baker can still be heard. Actually what they did, they used a bamboo stick, and on that bamboo stick they used to have some bells around it, and when they put that when they just put that bamboo stick on the ground, they hit it on the ground, that created sound and that made their announcement that they are coming, they are there. So, and maybe the father is not alive, but the son is still carries on the family profession. Now maybe the father who baked breads in the past, maybe he has died, but the son is still carrying that tradition. And these bakers are even today known as padders in Goa. And in Goa, these bakers are known as padders. Padder actually is a Portuguese word for bakers. During our child, now he remember his own childhood. The writer remembers his own childhood. But he says that during our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion and guide. Now what he says that at that time, the baker were their friend, their companion, their guide. They used to be like that. And he used to come at least twice a day. And these bakers used to come 2 times in a day. One round, once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his used bucket. Now, the seller, they used to take round around the city, and when they went, first round that was there, and when they returned back after selling all the cake, all the breads, they also came, again take the same route, and they twice came to the same place. Okay, and then it is given, the jingling thud of the bamboo woke up us from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Now these bakers came early in the morning, and children, they used to get up after just listening to the sound of those bells. The bells, these were from baker. Okay, and they ran, the children, he says that the writer and other children, they went to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of the loaf? Maybe we loved breads, that's why we went there. It was not at all. The loaves were bought by some Paskins or Bastins, the maid servants of the house. Now what he says, that these breads were brought by some maid servants in the house. We were not there, we did not go to buy the breads. But what we did actually, we just waited, what we longed for were those bread bangles which we chose carefully. Actually, these breads were in the form of a bangle. Bangle is having a hole inside, na? So it was just like a bangle shape. And what they say, that the writer says that we just went to choose our breads, okay, the fine quality breads. And sometime it was sweet bread of special make, and sometime we chose some special kind of breads, like the donuts that we eat these days. The bakers made his musical entry on the scene with the jang jang sound of his specially made bamboo staff. Actually, I have already told you that they carried a bamboo stick with them with some special kind of bells on it. And when they came, what they did, they just hit the bamboo on the ground, and that produced the jang jang sound, and that made the announcement of his arrival. And one hand supported the basket on the head, and the other hand banged the bamboo on the ground. That other hand hit the bamboo on the ground. And he would greet the lady of the house with good morning, and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. And what he did, he put the basket on the vertical bamboo that he was carrying, and he wished all the ladies good morning. We kid pushed aside with a mild rebuff, and the loaves would be delivered to the servants. Actually, all the kids gathered around the bakers, but all the children, they were pushed aside with mild rebuff. They were scolded, you just go away from there, because they had no mean to. Because the ladies, they are buying the breads, but children had no work to do with that. But they still did not hesitate to go there. But we would not give up. We would climb a bench or the parapet and peep into the basket. And what they did, they just even sometimes climbed on the bench or parapet. Parapet is a kind of it's a boundary. Boundary is actually the house boundary that is always a low. Okay, so sometimes they climbed on the boundary to just have a look at those breads, at his basket. Somehow, I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Now the writer, he also feels, he just remember those breads. He says, I cannot forget the smell of those, the fragrance, the sweet fragrance of those breads. Okay, loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. And what he says, that the long breads, they were for the elders, and the other breads, the bangles were for the children. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. And when the breads were bought, that day they did not brush their teeth, they did not care to wash their mouths. Okay, what they say, and why should we? The writer says that why should we wash our mouths? Who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush? As we know that in the past there were no toothpaste or toothbrush, but people used to have some sticks, sometimes neem stick or the mango stick for brushing their teeth. So he says why he should take the trouble to brush his teeth and take the mango stick and brush his teeth. It is all there, it is all clean. He says that a hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely, and when we take a hot tea it would wash away all the germs. So this was all about they like the bread that much. Okay, so marriage's gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the ball. Actually, at that time, even in marriages, sweet breads were given as gifts. They were called ball. Ball is it's also a Portuguese word for sweet bread. Just as a party or a feast loses its charm without bread, and as any party could not be held without the presence of bread. Okay, that was all meaningless. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. Now, from the next sentence you will understand that how important a baker was in a village, because the lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Now, it was compulsory that lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of engagement of her daughter. Okay, cakes and bolinas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. Cakes and bolinas are also sweet breads. They were also very popular for Christmas and other festivals. Thus, the presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. It was really very important to have a baker in the village, because without him so many important functions, any festival, that could not take place. That was the importance of bakers in the villages. The baker or the bread sellers. The baker or the bread sellers of those days had a peculiar dress known as kabai. So now in those days bakers had a special dress that was called kabai. What is that kabai? It was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. It was a single frock. It was just like a frock reaching down to the knees, below knees. Okay, not the complete frock, but it was up to the knees. Okay, reaching down to the knees. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trouser which were shorter than full length ones and longer than half pants. So now what he says, that writer in his time had seen bakers who had started wearing shirts and pants. But these pants were also not the full pants, but just more than half, up to the knees. Okay, and even today, anyone who wears a half pant reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like a peddler. So now even if anyone who wears a pant below knees, so he is called a baker. He is dressed like a baker. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. As we give our monthly bills like milk bills or other bills, same way the baker's bills were given at the end of the month. And monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. And they were not recorded on some pen or with some paper or pen, but that was recorded on the wall with some pencil. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. Now what he says, because all the people they loved breads and they took it, so that was a profitable good business at that time. The baker and his family never starved. They never went hungry. Okay, his family, all the workers, they never went hungry. They always had good money in their hand. He and his family and his servants always looked happy and prosperous. They always looked wealthy, they looked happy. All the servants, all the family members, they were all happy. Their plump physique means they were fatty. They were grown fatty, so pleasantly fat body. that was an open testimony to this. That was open testimony to this. Testimony means that was a proof to that. Even today, any person with a jackfruit means जिसको हम कटहल बोलते हैं. So even like a jackfruit, like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. So now even in Goa, anyone who is a fatty, who is very fatty like a jackal, he is having a jackal shape, he is called a baker. So this is all about this lesson. Next part we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.